They just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, every single day, without the Please watch the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Hiya everyone. I didn't know I was doing a show tonight. I thought it was Friday today. And so I got myself ready to do it. And I said to Jason, Jason, I'm not on. And he got back to me, he said, you said you were having a night off on Thursday. Oh, fuck. I'm losing it. Definitely losing it. I thought it was Friday. But anyway, we'll have some football, whatever you want. And talk about the game, last night's game. Liverpool were good, but there's people are over the top, unfortunately, saying, we're turning the corner. We play Carabao. I just don't understand it, I'm being honest. They're forgetting all the games that we played and we were awful, and now we're going to win the Champions League. Well, I just don't understand how all of a sudden the corners, how many corners have been changed? How many corners have returned throughout the season? How many? It's like Formula One. Turning more corners, no Formula One. It's ridiculous. See what you say. Have we turned a corner, or is it all pie in the sky as usual? Because I think so. I think it's pie in the sky. I really do. We're supporters. We've seen what's going on. We've actually seen what's going on throughout, but not only this season, but last season too. We've seen what's going on. It's just nuts. Maybe it's me, I don't know. Colin's ice. Big up, Frank. Hiya, Colin. I'm my old mate, Johan. Because even if Frank and Legends thought you might have bailed on the show tonight. Hope everyone as well. Thanks, Johan. Honestly, I thought it was Friday today. I think it was with being at the hospital, yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was at the Aussie yesterday. And it's taken us out of me, to be honest. So, as I said, I got ready and everything. I thought I was doing tomorrow night's show today because I thought it was Friday. And I said to Jason, I'm not on. And as I said, he got back to me by saying, it's your night off. You said you're having a night off. I just said, okay, then I'll just throw some football on or whatever they want to talk about, So here I am with you, which is nice. And Gary says, tally ho, Frank, Slot has to be sacked ASAP. He isn't good enough. Precisely, Gary, because people are deluded. I hate the word deluded. I just think that they fucking take myself. They don't understand football, or they haven't been watching football the way it's being played. We do all right. We've done all right in the Champions League, if you know what I mean, which we have. No getting away from it. But we've only got to come up against, someone. I don't want a Premier League side because they know how to play us. The Europeans don't, apparently. Only PSV. And they smashed us. So I don't know who we'll get tomorrow. Could be anybody. Could be anybody because there's some good teams in. Some good teams in the pot that we're in. So if you go through, I don't like all this new stuff, by the way. I just don't like it at all. The Champions League. Why didn't he just... I know it's for more money. I know it's more greed. That's a foregone conclusion, that. And it's just nuts. Did you see what Slot said? I remember him when we won the league, he said that's 2 titles in 5 years. Now it's 2 titles in 30 years. So what's he trying to say? You wouldn't have had another one only for me. Is that what he's saying? No, Annie, we wouldn't have had another one only for Mo Salah. And I'll keep on repeating that because it was Mo Salah that won us that league. Nobody else. Slot didn't. And that's what he's playing on. That's what fans are playing on as well. Well, we won us the league. No, we fucking didn't. Take Mo Salah out of the equation, we would have never have finished where we did. With his golden boot and record assists. No chance. Contextualise says Dixon recorded there, Snakey. Last night we beat a less than average team. In brackets, that's being polite. Close brackets. In no way, shape or form can last night match the way we're performing domestically. Today is Thursday, misters. I know I found out 10 minutes ago, Snippy. He's mad at this. Thanks for reminding me, Sneaky. Colin says, it'll be back to normal on board on Saturday, mate. That team were very poor. They were part-timers. And this is what's not filtering through the heads of these people who, obviously they love Slot. And I couldn't believe I put on, what's his name? Right after the game, I put him on. David Lynch. I know I'm politically minded and I do a Friday show, but I've never known a journalist flip-flopping with the likes of the president of France and the president of the United States, flip-flopping from one to another. And he did it last night. Instead of coming out and saying what Colin said, a very poor part-timers, that's who we beat. But let's try and build on it. That's all he had to say. But no. Eric Carlyle, Scarhill, even a Frank and the chat, even in Gary. Good to see you. All that Lance's fault, yes. Oh, and do you know what? I'm PSG keeps mentioning them. This is what kind of a see. Look, he doesn't really. It's like the Northern Irish fella when after 4 or 5 months in the job of Liverpool, he said, "I didn't realise how big Liverpool was or is. I didn't realise." Now, you know, he was down at Chelsea with Marino, wasn't he? Or Pep. No, Marino, sorry. And didn't he look at Liverpool? And how big it was? And he came out. But I think this fella's the same. He doesn't realise you and me and all the fan base. He doesn't realise. And the fan base globally and how big Liverpool are in Europe. I really don't think he realises it. I think the same goes for Amarim of Man United. I don't think he realised how big Man United were. You know, they're not in Europe, so he's gone in saying, oh, well, you know. I don't think they look at clubs. Some do, if you know what I mean. Some look at clubs to see if they're, you know, they're a big club. But that's me. Lisa. Hey, Lisa. Frank, we can beat any team. I think we'll go all the way, honestly, and no club will want to face us. Okay, Lisa, you know, no one's arguing with you, sweetheart, because it's what people, you know, think. But what you've got to bring into the equation, would you like to see us play, say, Arsenal, over 2 legs? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Because they know us. They know us. And would you like to see us play Bayern Munich over 2 legs? I wouldn't. And they're just 2 of the teams. Manchester City. Would you like to see us play them? I wouldn't. It's not like when we played City a few years ago under Klopp and we beat them 5-1 on aggregate. It's not like that now. It's way, way, way beyond us at that particular team and that particular tactics, everything. The way we played against City that time. That's the way I look at it. Them days have gone under Slot. Those Barcelona days have gone under Slot. Well gone. So, you know, you must have been looking, Lisa, last night and saying, oh, this is great. Not having a go at you, honestly, I'm not. But you must have been looking saying, oh, these are part-timers. These are from the other side of Russia. Part-timers. Karabakh. You see, little fellas. And they opened us up a few times as well. That's what was frightening last night. Albeit, you know, we beat them 6-0. They opened us up. Could you imagine a very good team opening us up? You've only got to look at Bournemouth. Only last week. And how dreadful we were. Lisa. And we've been like that all the time in the Prem. And the Prem is our bread and butter. This fella said it. He said it. This is our bread and butter, the league. And look at us. You've got to look at also at the beginning of the season when we had lucky wins, let's be honest. But nevertheless, we had wins. And we were 5 points clear of second place, Arsenal. Look at us today. That gives you what we're like. What we're like. We're 10 points behind third place, Aston Villa. So that's the way I look at it. No one likes calling out the managers or anything. And as far as Lee said, as far as, you're getting a hell of a lot of fans saying we're not a sacking club. Of course we're a fucking sacking club. Of course we are. You've only got to go back to Kenny Dalglish. Before Kenny, we were great. And he got the sack. Remember, Ulier, when he came in, when he took over, he got the sack. Rafa got the sack. Think about it. Think about Rafa getting the sack. Think about when Hodgson took over. He was gone. And he's got better statistics than Slot today when he was in charge. Did you know that? I know it sounds mad. You might think, I'll behave. No. And Hodgson was sacked. And you've got the likes of, he's one of the worst managers statistically for Liverpool Football Club. Forget the Champions League. I'm talking about the league. Then we had the Northern Irish fella. And I said on LFC TV, I was sitting with Jimmy Case. It was a live show. And I always remember Claire O'Rourke saying, this is when Rodgers came. The Northern Irish fella. I don't like mentioning his name because I know about him. And anyway, she said to Jimmy, what's Brendan going to do now? Do you think he'll succeed? Jimmy, yeah, he'll be. Said to me, do you think he'll succeed? I said, we'll win nothing under him. He's too inexperienced. That's what I said. He's too inexperienced. I said, he got lucky with getting through the back door into the Premiership and had, a survival of a season. A survival with a season with Swansea. And it wasn't even his team. Think about that. Slot is the very same. Slot came in, took over Liverpool. But whose squad was it? What did Jurgen Klopp leave us with? Now, the season before, those players gelled. And I said, if we gel, we'll be a great team. Under Klopp, this is. And when all of a sudden, Edwards came back and Klopp went, and I looked at it and said, fuck this, I'm off. And he left us with that squad, but won us the league. And Mo Salah. Just like the Northern Irish fella did with Swansea. Because he was left with a team that got into the Premiership and did all right, survived. And we brought him in. And I was asked, and I said, no, we'll win nothing under them. And I was vindicated because we didn't. Then we brought in the big German. And what did we win with him? On a shoestring budget, by the way. Shoestring budget he had every season. And what you've got now today is this fella. And the biggest budget, in my opinion, ever known. I'm paying, astronomical fees for their players. And look at us in the league. Even outsiders, neutral people who didn't support Liverpool were saying, with these players, this is at the beginning of the season, with these players, Liverpool are going to win everything. Everything. Remember, under Klopp, the last couple of seasons he was with us, we were going after the quadruples. Are we going after the right now? Are we going after the quadruple? Are we going after the treble? No. You could say like the FA Cup, the Champions League. For a double. Got no chance of the league. Got knocked out the Carabao Cup. And Gary says, slot spouting bollocks, Frank. He plays total Dutch football that wins fuck all. So you see, Lisa, that's another answer, no one's... It's the way it is. It's the Evo, the old mate. We're all going to be forced to watch the Melania films very soon or face taxing wrath of the bloated ballon head she is married to. Do you mean be forced? Melania. She was a good time girl, wasn't she? And the Snape. Anthony Gordon must be salivating at the thought of Frimpong and Bradley's absence at right back. Combine that with potentially Canate not being fit. We could be in real trouble on Saturday. Yeah. This is the problem. This is the problem. I just don't know. I can't get my head around it. With some fans, saying that we've turned a corner, and thinking that win last night 6-0. One person said, "Well, they drew with Chelsea. So fucking what? So what? They were shocking last night. It was shocking. I said before the game, someone said to me, someone commented, well, what's your prediction? I said, we just battered them. And that was before the game. We should batter them. And we will. And I did. We did. We battered them. There's no getting away from it. But I don't take it as, this is great, this is the corner turns. I'm not taking it like this, like that. I'm not. It was Karabakh, for God's sake, whoever they are. It gets on my tits, Frank. There's more flip-flopping than on the beach, mate. You're right, Colin. As I said, I use the terminology too. Flip-flopping. Are you Frank and Chat, says Ashley. Are you, Ashley? And stay. Sloot Dog only interested in earning is, yes. For his Dubai Ibiza Jones, yes. I think he's got a place there, to be honest. I think his wife lives over in Dubai. Look, the stick, he gives us stick. He gives us stick. And who brought him in? Who brought him in? And it was Hughes and Edwards. He's Hughes' mate. I don't know how he was Hughes' mate, to be honest. I haven't a clue. Annie, do you want a job? What kind? It's the Liverpool job. Coaching. Yeah. That was it. And why I didn't like him immediately, and I'll tell you for why, and I've said this, I will repeat it. Before the season finished, the Eredivisie League, and Feyenoord, he went out into the middle of the pitch and told the Feyenoord fans, I'm leaving at the end of the season for Liverpool. Think about that. Think about that. I said, who the fuck is this fella? Janet. Happy Thursday, Frank. Thank you, Janet. Glad you never said Happy Friday. Which you thought it was. And actually says there's bound to be all English game in the Champions League because there's 5 teams that got through. And if Newcastle get through, that will be 6 teams. There you go. Steve Mulholland. We will be back to our usual boring passing back and sideways against Newcastle. Yes. And the Vader. All right, Frank, mate. Did you get on Slot? Did you get on Slot saying 2 years ago? Yes, that was shocking. And he has qualified twice from the Champions League group stage. I can't stand him. He's put us in this mess. Do you know what? Do you know when he said, and we went out to Atalanta in the Europa? We. I was a fucking said, if I was a journalist, I went, whoa, I would have said, hang on, what do you mean, we? You were still fucking with Feyenoord. Not we. You were not a we. You became we last season. Not when we played Atalanta. That's a fucking... I've just said that to him. We. Do you know when he fucking goes? It won't be we anymore. That really fucking upset me, that. Right up my nose. We. As though he was a fucking big Liverpool supporter, you know, and in the backroom staff of Klopp. And he finally took over. Fucking we. Fuck off. And I know what you're going to say. Well, he means the club. You know, we. No. I was phrased it properly. Well, Liverpool were beaten 2 years ago by Atalanta. And now we just qualified for the last 8 of there. That's when I would have used the we. I can't stand him. He's put us in this mess. Yes, and it is a mess. And the Snapey. When we turn the ball over the rim, the opposition has to run into is limitless. They were doing it last night. They were doing it last night. Carabach. Opposition players go and challenge running at our defence. It's inherently fragile and is unsustainable. Well, all as your ads, wasn't it? Was excuse me. All your ads last night. All your ads last night, you know, as Colin Dyke said, you know, a load of amateurs playing us, and they were getting through. They were getting through. They had the first shot, you know. They had the first shot. And after that, Alisson didn't make one save. That's how fucking bad they were. That's how bad they were. Did you see Ali, you know, diving to his left or his right, you know? I didn't. Johan V. Karabag. I know it's not the Friday show, but Trump called Azerbaijan Cambodia when he claimed to stop their war in Armenia. Yeah. Did he call us Albania as well at one stage, Johan? Did he call us Albania? Fucking hell. This is our world we're living in. Can't wait for tomorrow night, though. Talk about this fucking armada that the soft gets sending to Iran. Rafa was brilliant, says Janet. He was. I had seen you this morning, didn't I? I was only listening to Jamie, to be honest. Big up Frank and Reds. All right, see, mate. And Colin says, we were on 56 points this time last season, Frank. That's 20 points more than the same time this season, with his players and his tactics. Yes. Yes. Big up, Eric, says the T. Mo is faithful to our city, says Janet. Yes, Janet. And Owen Lee, even if Frank, how you Owen? I've been watching all week but couldn't comment. My laptop broke. All fixed now. I bet you made up, aren't you? I bet you were trying to comment. And Gary says, Frank, dear boy, one is waiting for an Alonso revolution, dear boy, as the cop chants his name. That's a good one. See, that's what I mean. I remember the West Ham game, and here's our away fans chanting his name, and he was fucking made up. Annie Slot. Remember that? And that's why now he's gone on and saying, well, they're all quiet, aren't they? Because they're not chanting his name. Because someone says, you know, why don't they protest? Don't need to, because the ground's emptying. The ground's emptying before the finish. There's your protest. But we'll just see on Saturday night. We'll just see on Saturday night how it goes. And do you know what? Honestly, does anyone ever get onto this? Because I do. I remember Liverpool, we beat Real Madrid 4-0 down here. And we went to Old Trafford and we were still trying to fight for the league. And we beat them for 4-1. 2 great wins. And after that, if Liverpool ever score a high score, we always struggle to score, to get like 1 or 2. Loads of games like that. If we scored, like last night, for example, and we're playing an entirely different side than Carlyle. I hear Harvey Ellis starts for Villa tonight. I'm happy for the lad because I think he has been treated like yes. Yeah. He has. But he's been, look, why did we let him go? To me, little Harvey was an impact player, but he was a Liverpool lad. I mean, a Liverpool fan. He's a London lad, but a Liverpool. He played for the shirt. He played for the badge. And he must have been sick. Slot telling him, don't want you, mate. You gone. Wonder what he thinks of Slot. And Quansah, that was the biggest disappointment for me. Quansah, big tall lad. And he was growing. He was actually filling out. And someone mentioned, not on here, I was watching a pod, and someone mentioned about Quansah. And he's playing great over in Germany. And then there was a comment underneath that, yeah, but Germany's crap. Trying to justify getting rid of Quansah. He had it in for him from the very first minute. Slot. When he substituted him at half-time against Ipswich. You remember he played Ipswich on the opening day? Was it Ipswich? Was it Leicester? Who the fuck did it? Was it Leicester? I forget who it was. And anyway, he got shut of him. Didn't he? First season. He played, gone. And what could we do with him today? Yes. Wasn't Ipswich, was it? Was it Leicester? It was Leicester, wasn't it? Fucking hell, I can't think. Mikey Lee's, hiya Frank, how are you looking? How are you? You're looking good. Ekatike was brilliant last night. Yeah, Mikey, I think they all were. Against the mighty Carabag. Yeah. Unbelievable. TW. Teams like Carabag shouldn't be in the Champions League. It makes the competition look second rate. They should put teams like that in another competition. Yeah. This is what I mean about the greed of UEFA. It's shocking. It's just pure, unadulterated greed. And it goes to FIFA as well. Because, all right, a little political here, but I'll get me to my point. You've got the likes of America who's on its way to, bomb the fuck out of a place called Iran because they won't conform to what Israel are doing or the Americans. So they're going to try and fucking bomb fuck out of them, blow it up. Yeah? They went to Venezuela, America, surrounded it. And they went in, kidnapped the president of the sovereign country of Venezuela and his wife, transported them back to America to stand trial. What for? And Rubio was questioned today or yesterday. And he said, he admitted that it was, he tried to put over that it wasn't an act of war. It's because, get on to fucking this, it's because Maduro had relationships with China and Russia. Think about that. Just think about it. Right? They want Cuba. Just bear me out on this. They want Cuba. They want to take Greenland. And the next on the list is going, eastward from Greenland towards Iceland. Think about it. Right? This is America. This is Trump. And you've got the likes of the World Cup being played in America. Wouldn't you think FIFA would say, no, that's it, we're pulling out, you're not playing, that's it, you're gone, America. You're not even fucking playing. We're going to disqualify you, just like we disqualified Russia. But they haven't, because it's based on fucking greed. It's based on greed. America causing wars with regime changes and coup d'etats. And yet FIFA won't do nothing. They give him fucking Trump a peace prize. UEFA. FIFA. A peace prize. Think about it. There's the greed. There's the greed. I don't think I have seen such a piss poor team in my life. They were a fucking joke, says T. Yeah, they were, T. They were shocking. I've seen some bad teams, and they were awful. Dreadful. I thought Marseille was shocking as well. It's just my opinion. No, there's loads who say the same. There's loads. We're not fucking blind. We're not stupid. We do know a bit about football, and we can tell a very poor side from a very good side. At least we've got that in our locker. And Colin says he's still far up his own arse, Frank. He keeps saying the outside noise. That's at us. That's at you and me and everybody else. That's at this fucking lot here. That's at this. Our lads and girls. The outside noise. Does he not realise that it's not outside noise because it's a fan noise? And we're all one fucking family here, not fucking outsiders. That's what I mean about him. He hasn't a fucking clue about the club. He hasn't a clue. And he goes around saying he won the league. He fucking didn't. And that's the annoying thing. It was Mo Salah who won us the league. please just look at the, when we won the league, just please look at it. Take Mo Salah out of the equation. Who would have been there to do what Mo Salah did by getting the golden boot? Who? And records assists. Who? Out of that team. And, you've got to look at Lucho as well in that equation. And Darwin as well. Captain Chaos, that's why he had the nickname Captain Chaos, because he did. He was a great presser, him and Lucho. What happened to them? To bring who we brought in, because we're a shelter bike club, as you know. Always have been under this lot. Good shout there, Colin. Great shout, in fact. TW, they beat Chelsea, says Callum. No, they fucking didn't. They drew with them. So what are you fucking saying, Callum? You always come on here and have a few little fucking comments, then fuck off. Just fuck off, lad. Because you don't fucking stay, do you? So don't be putting little fucking stupid comments in, all right? That Atlanta side they were that season. They were, they were brilliant. And Barry says, even in Franken chat, I believe Canate and Gomez are good to go on Saturday. Canate and Gomez. Look, Canate hasn't been playing, and he's grieving. And I didn't know that his dad, had gone. I'm being honest. And he could have been suffering from a fucking horrible disease. And that could have affected Canate on his mind about his dad. And he couldn't get through throughout the season. Because, something might have been lingering with his dad until I finally took him. And you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about, rather than me spelling it out. And that could have been, and yet I've said it on here, scapegoat. Mo Salah was a scapegoat. They always make fucking scapegoats, fans. Curtis Jones, another one. Scapegoat. They're always scapegoating. Instead of scapegoating the fucking proper person. And that's the prick who fucking manages us. Well, not he's a coach, isn't he? Edwards manages us. And see, I know Callum, they do, but there is no getting away from the fact that they are fucking garbage and wouldn't beat championship teams. Fucking great, isn't he, Callum? Fucking asshole. Hi, Frank and everyone. Like and subscribe, says Christopher. Thank you. They don't like and subscribe. You must just listen to what I say and what you say. Slot was offered the coaching job at Liverpool and a travel card for A's travel. But I was fucking fuming when we lost. Do you remember when I was on here and I was saying, he's fucking in Dubai. And we've just lost 3 games on the trot. He should be up at the Access sorting it out with his stupid backroom staff. And they're fucking crap as well. Now, that's what I said at the time. And I also said he's treating Liverpool like a fucking travel agency. Going into the admin and saying, I booked me a flight to Dubai. All right. Book me a flight to Ibiza. That's what it's fucking like. Eh? Fuck off. Evening, Captain Kaiser, Chief Don Franco, our chat leader, says the IBR. You know, they are. Come and see DJ. Franco and everyone says, Bella. Buonasera, Bella. Buonasera. Steve Evans, stood in the chippy waiting to get me tea. Have a great show, Frank. Speak to you soon, mate. Cheers, and thanks for the phone call, mate. I didn't half appreciate it, Steve. I really did. Thank you. And Johan, he called Armenia, Albania a few weeks ago. Oh, that's right, yeah. It wasn't Azerbaijan, was it? It was Albania. I mean, Armenia. You're right. Cheers, Johan. And Bella says, Mo is my favourite. He gave so much. He gives so much. He gives today, even. To be honest, Bella. It's still present tense. Fuck off. Not you, Bella. Yes. Fish chips and curry sauce. Stay up the chippy. Can't wait to get hold of it. Love it. Oh, Cedric, I'm sorry. Cedric Lopez, the most exotic name on the planet. Big up, legend. Good win. But do you think this helps with the future games? Bit doubtful. No, it doesn't. It doesn't help with future games, Cedric. I'm sorry, mate. No way. Did you see Sloot's face? Yeah. Everyone was going on about that. It's because Cozy missed the shitter, didn't he? And when Feddy scored, bang. Fucking shocking. He's a horrible fucking prick. Everyone was going on about it, Colin, on his face when Chiesa scored. And Polo, it's sad that Redmen, Anfield, oh, well, no. FSG, just show you how money corrupts, shameful. Yes. I don't watch them. I don't. Some of them put on a fucking accent, if you notice. Oh, you know what I mean, like? What's all that about? Oh, we were there. What is that about? I don't know fucking anyone who speaks like that. Only them. Fucking assholes. Suppose they call me an arsehole as well. That's probably. Yes, Colin. He was well pissed off when Chiesa scored, says the T. And the IBR, we should never have played Harvey at the start of the season, as Sloot knew he had no future at Anfield and should have sold him for a lower fee. That's a good shout, that, actually. That's a very good shout. Good shout there, IBR, mate. Thoughts why Slot doesn't like Chiesa. I don't fucking know, you know. Maybe he doesn't like Italians. Just don't know. That lad has been put through the rinser. Last season, how many fucking games did he have? This season. And you can tell that he just does not like him. Federico. And yes, he loves that Gakpo lad. I've got nothing against Gakpo, you know, as an individual, but he's fucking crap. Unfortunately. One trick pony. And he keeps picking him. And picking him. And picking him. The idea, Ekatike has a fantastic balance and grace on the ball. A bit like Thierry Henry. Just wish he had Klopp to take him to the next level. Yeah. Good shout, though. Lindsay. Even in Frank. Even in Lindsay. Let's see. Fuck no, Cedric, especially as Chiesa has bailed Slot out this season, and he has. He has. I could see the enthusiasm. Tell you who was it against, and it was last season. He was brought on with about, I don't know, 5 minutes to go or something mad like that. And it was against Brentford away. And it was the usual, you know, bring him on. And when Darwin scored, and he just ran with Darwin over to the corner as though he scored. That was the enthusiasm and the passion the lads were showing Chiesa. And when he scored the second, you know, minutes or so later, he did exactly the same. And that's the passion and the enthusiasm for the club that lad shows. And if you ever see him in training, he's always got a smile on his face. And yet the ball shine doesn't fucking rate him or like him. And someone said when he got a start, didn't he, the other week? And he said, well, you know, he wasn't that much, was he? Then he got a game. He hasn't fucking played. How many fucking games has he played for 2 seasons? It's the way I look at it. And they were judging him. This fella was fucking judging him. That's what I mean. People don't not having a fucking clue about football. They come on and go, you know, well, fucking crap him. Don't look at the bigger picture. They don't look at the bigger picture with Slot, the sloop man. The idea. The Chiesa situation is baffling, he says to Cedric. Jeanette was talking about fucking Liverpool, not fucking Everton or Prescott Cables, I'm sorry. Agree, IBR, says Cedric. Oh, fucking hell. The IBR says we will see massive influx of Iranians heading into Europe as the Carlyle plan rolls on. The Greater Israel project is out of control. I said that. America, I'm going back, not yesterday or last year, I'm going back years ago. And I said, America's plan is to destabilise the Middle East so that there be a massive this is what I said, destabilise the Middle East to for the influx of war-torn migrants to go into Europe, to destabilise Europe, and it succeeded. This is what America does. Janet. Greenland were not allowed to put a team forward for the World Cup. No. They'd have to qualify, though, to be honest, Janet. But they are qualified. Anyway, Johan, they might be looking towards Japan soon. Their bond market has crashed since it's heavily reliant on the US Treasury. Their parliament is conducting an emergency election in February. And that's why they rely on the likes of Japan, because it's in the global south. And to keep an eye on, China as well. But the Japanese, I do know this for a fact, the Japanese want them fucking out. The American bases, they get out. They don't want them to be there. I was watching a documentary a couple of years ago, and there was a Japanese girl. She said there's more murders committed by the American soldiers in Japan, and we want them out. We want these murders to stop. Well, you know what America's like, don't you, for murders, fucking serial killers and everyone fucking going around, and cannibals. And I hope I'm not being petty when I say that. But you've got to look at America big time. But you're right, Johan. Chiesa scores in the 90th minute. He's a great player, but under this manager, he never gets full time. A full game. Always given a few minutes near the end of the match. If he's near the end of the match, hang on. If it's near the end of the match, he'll be lucky to get brought on. That's what you're saying, Bella. Yes, Bella. And we Italians stick together, don't we? Slot more interested in gallivanting. You're right, Polo. You're right. Fucking fed up with him. TW, outsiders, that Pratt hasn't got a clue about us. I wish he would piss off. A lot of us, to be honest. See? And the IBR to Johan, Japan has massive problems and an ageing population. But the young now today have never forgiven them, because America is the only country on the planet to use a weapon of mass destruction. And that was on two cities in Japan, as you know, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And they want them out, but they're getting the young Japanese who doesn't forgive them now. Fuck off. And they're going around murdering people, the soldiers. Paulie, hi Frank, hi chat. I'm just listening to you all. I've only come down with a heavy, quartered from the wife. It's man flu now. I've got it. Got to lie down. Up the red man. Good luck with that. I fucking hate anything like that. I was given the wrong medication. I'm not telling you what it's about. I was given the wrong medication a couple of weeks ago. And I said, oh, fucking hell. So I had to ring the doctors up 2 weeks later because I had to give it time. And I said, it's the after effects with these. And this doctor, great doctor, he rang me. And then we had a words with each other. And then he rang me back again. And he said, yes, they have side effects. And most probably that's why you're suffering with it now. And I'm a lot better. Stop taking these fucking things. I've fucking fallen to bits, poor Frank. So I empathise with you, Paulie, and I've got sympathy too. And Bella says, Franco, we played a very poor side last night, and yet today I heard some fans in a cafe saying how great Slot was. The only thing good about Karabag was I loved their fans. They fucking travelled from a country that's only it's hard to explain in geographical terms where they are. By Russia, south of Russia, and they travelled all the way from there, Azerbaijan. Or as Trump would call it, Armenia or Albania. They travelled. And they were great. They were lovely people. They were cheering their team. You know, they came to Anfield to see their team play at Anfield. And did you notice the crowd? You know, there was men and women. Really good. I was made up for them. And good luck to them. Unless it was the squad pretending to be fans in the alley road. Excuse me. And Bella says, I hope you get better soon, Paulie. Oh, that's nice. That's nice coming from Bella. The Amshanker couldn't wait to get Harvey out the door because he knew Harvey was Klopp's project. Fucking loads of them, Kwanzaa, name them. Look at all the young lads. Look at that. There's another thing as well. Young Wharton, he's playing in France. And someone said, this kid's Wharton's playing absolutely brilliant in France. And then someone underneath Snide came out and said, yeah, but France is a bad league. You see what I mean? They're making fucking excuses for this prick. And they're supposed to know about fuck off. Football, fuck off. Don't. But you're right there, Colin. And Bella, Franco, you're right. Someone that goes to Dubai when he should be managing the club is a manager that doesn't really have any interest. And he shows his hands. And that's all he ever does. Fucking hands in pockets. Walking up and down. I had a coat like it. Very shame. What he wears, I won't wear it. I'm going to give it to a charity shop. True love. Fucking hell. Wearing my fucking coat. Polo. Slot seems to be very and vindictive personality. Yeah, hang on. Slot seems to be a very jealous, vindictive personality. And I said, yeah, I'd go along with that. 100%, Polo. Listen, you've heard me saying that the likes of Edwards, Hughes, and him, the ballsy one, are trying to get shut of the legacy of Klopp. Think about it. Think about it. This is why all the youngsters, they got to the fucking Carabao Cup final, these little kids. The FA Cup final. Playing kids. That's how Klopp looked at these kids. And you see him putting their arms around how fucking great. And he got shut at them. As I said about that young one, you know, these are kids who've been at Liverpool for years. Years from when they were little children. Why do you think Trent left? Why do you think Trent left? Did you see him bawling his eyes out on the day that Klopp left? He said, I'm fucking playing for this prick. And he left. You'd have Trent playing today if Edwards hadn't come back. And you would have had Jürgen, because his wife Ula says, sign another contract. This is before the emergence again of the prick who left, walked out on Liverpool 2 years before, and that's Michael Edwards. And that other little snide, Julian Ward. The fucking snides them. And I don't like snides. I hate snidey people. And I don't use the terminology hate loosely. I really don't. But snides are fucking worse than anyone. And that's what they are. Fucking snides. And they're trying to get rid of the legacy that no one will fucking get rid of his legacy. No one. This fucking fella won't. This fella won't. And Jürgen was the nearest to him. The nearest ever to him. By embracing the fans. Bob Paisley did as well. You know, Joe Fagan. Met Joe Fagan and fucking has the car park. I said, all right, Joe. He said, all right, lads, how are you? I said, I'm all right. And I said, thanks for winning us the treble. Well, that was a few years, you know, he retired. He said, any time, lad. Let's keep it going, eh? And he's put the shopping in the boot of the car. That's us. That's us. That's these lads. And Freedom says, I wonder if there's a culture clash between Dutch and Italian. Yeah, they haven't got an Amalfi Coast. Holland. The fucking canals. It's not like Venice, though. Or the Ligurian coast either. That's me, though. I'd be jealous of the tourism. Hiya, Billy, says Janet. Franco, I meant he gives us all. Well, of course he does, Billy. Of course he does. He loves Liverpool. He loves this. His wife loves it. Says, you know that his wife is a top scientist, by the way. I know what you meant, Bella. Honestly, I do. We play Newcastle Saturday. Does anyone think Slot will have a blue or a clue how to beat them? I hope so, but I'm not betting on it. Listen, you know, Paulie, we always, every game, we want Liverpool to win. Every game. And there are some, unfortunately, who want Liverpool to get beat to get rid of Slot. And that's wrong. I've never wanted the Reds to get beat by anybody. Anybody. Steve Mulholland. Talking to a Spurs fan last Saturday, and he said he wanted Andy Robbo because Slot has hardly started him this season. You're right, but the thing is, I'm not being funny, but Robbo, for me, you know, I'm just on a personal basis here. I'd lost it 2 seasons ago. He's not the same player. Honestly, he's not. Albeit he gives us all. Johan, the western arm of the Caspian Sea is out, I remember, where Azerbaijan is. The Caspian Sea. Think about it, where they came from. Where they came from. Travelled. Incredible. And yet they couldn't use Russian airspace because the European Union won't allow it, von der Leyen. And he wants to use Russian airspace. I don't know how what way they went. Might have travelled down, the planes towards Serbia. I would love to visit Italy this year, Bella. Well, just go, Janet. Get little Amby, get little Ellen to go with you, your cousin. And the Snape says they gave me the wrong medication. Many a faux pas has gone summarily excused with just that one sentence, Frank. Should have seen it. Well, I'm not going to tell you what it was, but I had very great difficulty. It's fucking shocking. And you're lucky that I was doing podcasts. But I'm all right now. So that good old doctor who came from, where did he come from? To me, he sounded Indian because he only phoned me up twice. Think about that. Twice within an hour when he delved into it. And he said, yes. And I said, thanks. Thank you. And the phone's up yesterday as well, fully enough. Not yesterday, the day before. And I thanked him. I just said to the reception, will you? I didn't know the doctor's name, and they knew it. They just looked it up. He phoned me twice. And I said, will you thank him? It's worked. His diagnosis worked. Freedom Journey, the Dutch and Italians are mainly beautiful people. Yeah, we are, aren't we? But not baldy-head, I'm afraid. I've never seen slot wearing it. No, you never do, Stephen. On the side, no. No, you don't. Do you know when I think he fucking wears it? When he's giving interviews for LFC TV in a fucking studio, I think he must say, you better fucking put that on, you know, mate. You know, the badge. Loads have noticed that, Steve. I mean that, mate. Honestly. And Snapey says it's Slot's unwillingness to display any passion which further alienates him from the fans. Plus, his deluded narrative post-match, his lack of any grasp of reality is staggering. How correct is that by the Snape? Hey, how correct is that? He hasn't, as I said, Snapey, honestly, mate, he hasn't a clue about Liverpool. He hasn't a fucking, look at his fucking wife. She wouldn't even come here to live. What other manager in the world whose wife wouldn't go with him to wherever he's going to a club? Whether it's a different country or a different fucking place, you know, up and down the country. She wouldn't come here. Shows you her affiliation with Liverpool, doesn't it? And I think, I'm being honest with you, I've said it before, you know, suppose his contract says, you know, if he left, he'd get the money. The same money as he'd been if he got the sack. He'd fucking go, him. He'd fucking go. He said, I'm fucking putting up with this by these fucking people from this fucking city. Fuck them. That's what he'd say. But he's lasting it out for him to be sacked because he knows he's fucking getting sacked. And he's waiting for his 10 million paycheck. That's the way I look at it. King Vader. I agree on Robbo, Frank, but he has. He has. I'm telling you, lost it 2 seasons ago. And he did miss this year. Well, did he? You know, I don't know, whatever games. He has missed Trent. And people say, oh, but you know, he was so sad about, we all were, about Diogo. But the point is, the season, you know, Diogo was playing for us. And he was finished then, in my opinion. Before Diogo's demise, tragic demise. And the Snape says 5,000-mile round trip for their fans. They are. Thanks, Snapey, mate. Thanks for that. Okay, now, do you know what? I don't know. Deep Songra. Deep Songra. Hello. Hello. Hello, Deep. Hope you're well. Welcome to the show. Can you like and subscribe, please, to get me little algorithm up there? I haven't got many likes tonight, to be honest. I've had loads on. And there's Lauren Bianchi. Hiya, Lauren. Hope you're well, sweetheart. Hi, Frankie. Hiya. Good to see you, Lauren. Good to see you. Best guy for replacing Virgil in the coming years, says the beanbag. Who's that, Leone? Or who? Wasn't it supposed to be, I don't know, why didn't we get Gahey? Why didn't, last summer just gone, this summer. Why didn't the other fella pay that 5 million quid, what they wanted, Palace? Why didn't he pay it? Because the fucking Greys, and they said, no, we'll wait till he runs his contract out and we'll get him for free. He's playing for City now. So, Beanbag, the best player to replace the Veg. We've got a young Italian there and he got bloody injured. Do you know what, Gary? And I've said this all the time. I follow the Azzurri. I follow Italy. And the best fella, in my opinion, he's at Italy are terrible. I've got to be honest, as a big fan from a young young kid, that the Azzurri, only through my own family, that is, my granddad and my great uncles. How can I put this? Is Bastoni. He's absolutely brilliant. And someone said once, he's dead slow. No, he fucking isn't dead slow. He's very agile over that pitch. He's brilliant. That's who do it, Beanbag. And MCC, hey man, you just popped up on my timeline. How are you? Just wondering when you started following Liverpool and who was your Liverpool hero growing up. I'll show you who my Liverpool hero was, and he became a friend of mine. And I've been following Liverpool since then. Since Shankly. And this fella was my hero at the time. And he became a friend of mine. Ian St. John. And that's how long MCC have been following Liverpool. Yes, I'm that old. Proud Liverpoolian. Very proud. Proud Scouser. Franco, says Bella, I just can't stand him. He doesn't show any passion for the city and the club. had passion. Klopp had passion and love for the city. That's a true manager. 100% right there. 100% right there, Bella. Because the massive difference between Klopp and this fella, Slot. You've only got to look at the fist punches at the end of games. Ow, ow, ow. To the fans. That's interaction. That's bringing them in. That's what Jürgen did. This fella, phony. It's him. And the chief says, tough question, that beanbag. I don't think we could replace the Verge. No. Jeanette, this city is ours. Yes, Jeanette. Good shout. Good shout, Jeanette. And the Vader, Frank, us the fans should throw a tenner in to get rid of this idiot because FSG is so cheap. They won't sack him. Yeah, because it's going to cost them 10 million. Most fans have had enough of this football and would love to see him gone. Yes. I'd say 90% of the fan base. That's what I mean. He never has a clue about the fan base. He didn't think about the global fan base. Just like the Northern Irish fella. After 4 or 5 months in the job, he said, I didn't realise how big Liverpool was. No one knows. But we do. We do. But this Dutch fella, you've only got to look at the Dutch, you know, the likes of Van Gaal, for example, Ten Hag, Koemans, couldn't fucking do it. They couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, Vader. The MCC. Big fan of Bastoni. I hope we get him. That's what we're living on now, unfortunately. MCC is hope. Hope. That's it. And the snake, Germany won't make it to the knockout stage of the World Cup, Frank. They are absolute. Do you know what? Again, you're right. And it's hard, isn't it? You look at the Italians, the Azzurri, you look at the Germans. Two mighty footballing countries. And look at them today. Look at them today. You'd never think that. Even the Dutch were brilliant. The Dutch were brilliant. And look at them. You've only got to look at their league. It's shocking. The Eredivisie. And this is what Slot's bringing to us. The Eredivisie football doesn't work. Doesn't work. I love that photo, Frank. Two legends. No, one legend's the Saint. I just think St. John was, he was you, he was me. That's the way he was. Used to be on loads of times with him at LFC TV. And Jimmy Case. Jimmy's just a fucking grease wherever he goes. So funny, Jimmy. Nice fella. Jan Molby. Great fella, Jan. Friend. I had him on my little radio show. So funny. It's great, Jan. Got a photograph of him, but he's on my phone. And with Kenny, I've got that angle. I've got us in my living room, me and Kenny. And, you know, people say, they don't think I know these people. I've got a fucking clue. Barney Rubble. Barney the Rub. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, there's one for you. No, that's, yeah. Fucking hell, what happened there? Yeah. Me and Jan, look, see? Fuck that little fat fella in the middle. He just jumped in on the photograph. I'm just trying to find. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah. People don't realise that I know these fellas. Players. Barney Rubble, great. Barney. I said to Phil Neal once, you know. Do you know in Rome, when we won the European Cup in Rome, I said to him, when he was taking that penalty, I said, what was going through your minds? He said, I didn't know what corner to put it in. He said, as I was running up to take it. He didn't know what. So you're getting things like Jimmy Case. When we beat San Etienne, I was talking about it to him. And he said, I thought we got beat. He said, I thought we went south. You know, when the ref blew the whistle. He said, no, we went through. Until, you know, you heard the crowd and everyone jumping up and down. He said, I thought we got fucking beat. He went south. They're the stories you don't hear. And the Barney Rubble, he's just when I hit it, he said, and I had no one to pass to, so I just hit it. And it went in and won us the cup against Leo in the Parc des Princes. Brilliant. IBR. If we can't make top four, then getting quality players like Bastoni is going to be molto difficile. Yes. It would be because you've got the likes of, see, this is my hope. Forget last night, but this is my hope. I reckon, see, what FSGA, the owners, what they rely on, believe it, what they rely on is this. They rely on the Champions League. They're not interested in it. Honestly, they're not. Even if we fucking win it, you know, it's a bonus for them. But they're not into it as long as we're in it because It just, the amount of money that comes in from the Champions League is tremendous to them. That's why they like it. That's why, they're sitting in Boston going, well, to the secretary, where's Liverpool now? Oh, the sixth. The where? What did you, how many you qualified? 5. Says here on the screen, 5 qualified. How's Liverpool playing? What are they playing like? Fucking awful. John, they're playing awful. Get fucking shut of him, get someone in there. I better make sure that we'll finish in the Champions League. I'm telling you now. Telling you now. IBR. And Barry says, if we had Bastoni and Leone in the middle of the defence, wow, what a partnership that would be, says Barry. Yeah, Barry, yes. That Leone's brilliant. He would have been playing now, guarantee. He would have been playing now, today. Unfortunately, the last few minutes of that fucking game, that slot decided to use him. The only thing I'm worried now about Giovanni Leone is, I'm being honest, is how he'd be now. Because that was a terrible injury he got. Remember Virgil, when he got that horrible injury of Pickford, and he was out the full season, and it took him a while to get up to speed to Virgil. MC said, thanks, Frank, for the reply. I'm 21, been a fan all my life. Gerrard was my hero, and St. John may rest him well. Good to hear he was a good friend. And what quality player we would do with him today. Yes. That's a good shout, that MCC, because you're getting people, friends of mine or whatever, and they say, just imagine Steven Gerrard in that midfield today. They always say it. And I'll tell you another thing. Everybody loves Kenny Dalglish, and everybody. And I was asked once to pick my favourite football team on LFC TV, the best, different from different eras. And Steven Gerrard was right in there, and he was playing at the time. I said, you can't leave this lad out. He's unbelievable. Zinedine Zidane, what did he say? He's the greatest midfielder of his generation. That was Zinedine Zidane who said that. Everybody has said it. And I said at the time, even now today, and I'll keep saying it, Kenny, people say Kenny's the greatest, and I say no. He is, don't get me wrong about Kenny, but fucking hell, can't say anything wrong about him. But here's what I always say, and why he's up there. Kenny played, including the goalkeeper, 10 world-class players. He was in a team of 10 world-class players, him one being 11. That's what kind of a team he was in. Steven Gerrard had nowhere near any world-class players, and he dragged them through. Dragged them. You've only got to look at Istanbul, where I was. Incredible. Lifting our team, scoring that header. running around. He was playing right back. He was playing in the middle. He was doing everything. Steven Gerrard. And anyone who was there, I'm not saying about looking at the telly, anyone who was there would tell you the same as I'm saying. He was fucking everywhere. Everywhere. Steven Gerrard. So I said that Steven Gerrard is the greatest legend Liverpool have had. Taking over the mantle of Kenny Dalglish. And I tell you, the greatest player ever to put a red shirt on. And his status would have been legendary too. And that was Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez was an incredible player. An unbelievable player for Liverpool Football Club. The greatest noise MCC I've ever heard at Anfield. It wasn't against Chelsea in the Champions League. It wasn't against Real Madrid in the Champions League. It was against the Raw. It was against the top team in Europe at the time. French team with great players. Rocheteau, unbelievable pin-up of France. He was the pin-up of Europe. Rocheteau. Six, Bethany, unbelievable players. And when we knocked them out, when David Fairclough, super sub, came on, the bionic carrot, and he hit the winner, that was the greatest roar I've ever heard in my entire life. I had titanitis for days after that. It was incredible. Going home, talking to, the lads. And it was like, boom, 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 boom. You could not hear what they were saying. Incredible. So there's great memories I've got. Great memories. The Barcelona game. The 4-0 game. I mentioned Istanbul. I mentioned Rome about Phil Neal and putting it, running up. He said he did it as he was running to take it. He didn't know what corner to put it in, and he just did it. And I went to the goalkeeper's right. So unfortunately can't follow them today. Not able, unfortunately. And the IBR to Barry. My only concern is Italian players struggle to settle here, and Chiesa is hot and cold, but given limited minutes. That's what I mean, IBR. He hasn't been given anything at all. Scraps. It's like saying to a gladiator, listen, I want you to go in there tomorrow night and fight this fucking big fella. All right. But I've had no practice, mate. I haven't fought for a year or so. You're going in tomorrow to fight him anyway, whether you like it or not. How is he going to get on against a big champion gladiator who kills lions and tigers and everything for fun, and even elephants? How's he going to fucking stand up to him? And that's Chiesa, unfortunately, hasn't been given the time to get used to systems as well. The difference between Slot and Klopp, when you watched the game on television, passion Klopp had, you felt you were there. Yes, great comment that. You did. Wonderful comment. And Barry, I agree, IBR, but those two are just starting their careers, whereas Chiesa is at the end of his, yes, sadly. Yeah. But he still never got a chance, Barry. Never got a chance, mate. And the IBR, German players used to be so mentally tough and arrogant. They were so efficient, but now the complete opposite and mirrors the German society we're down by the globalist. Yes. You're right. You're so right. And it's not that they're just football fans, but they're looking at what's going on in Brussels economically. Because America's fucked them over. And von der Leyen, she's fucked them over by getting all this liquid gas from America by shutting off the cheap gas from Russia. That's affecting them. That's affecting the ordinary worker. Believe it or not, people don't associate anything economically with that. We went through it, didn't we? In the 80s. We went through it with Thatcher. And what saved us? Football. Football saved us. Both Liverpool and Everton. They saved the city, this city of Liverpool, from being apathetic. Just falling into the, everyone being apathetic. Apathy setting in. The football saved us. That's what we look forward to every weekend. Going to the fucking game. To get rid of the apathy shown by Thatcher towards Liverpool and the government. Jeffrey Howe. Stephen says, go fund me to the Vader to get him out. Why do you have pictures of you Molby with Tez Line? I wish they had a photograph of Argieras here. Canal. Think I look like Tez Line? See our kids. Yeah, Molby with Tez Line. What time is the draw tomorrow? It'll be in the afternoon, only, around 12, 1 o'clock or something like that. Stay. I'll be finishing later on, mate. And the Vader, loved the Saints. Got a picture of him with me dad, granddad, and uncle when he was managing. Oh, go away. Oh, that's nice, Vader. That really is nice. Frank, after last night's, what's your 11 for Saturday, says the Daz. I'll be saying it on Saturday on my football show. I'm mixing up, Daz, Saturday morning. Don't get fucking mixed up with Sunday, that is. I'll be on Saturday morning. I'll be doing a mixture of film and TV review of football. So, if you want to join me, then I'll give you my 11. My 11. And the T says, brilliant photos, Frank. Thank you, T. Thank you. And the Snape. In 65, when the Saints scored the winner at Wembley, he achieved iconic immortality in the annals of the club. You're right. You're right. Ian St. John's contributions are what modern Liverpool is built on. That's a great comment, that. Brilliant. Really. Because no one ever forgets that. From Callie's cross. And he had to dive backwards, didn't he, to head it. And Jerry Bain with a broken collarbone played the full 90 minutes, including extra time. I'll be honest, Frank, says the Polo. I want LFC to lose to get this regime out. It's not improving on all levels. As I said, Polo, it'll go right to John Henry and he'll go, fuck this, get fucking shut. I'm telling you now. Look, Edwards has ruined Liverpool Football Club and the Invisible Man, Richard Hughes. They fucking ruined it with bringing this fucking arsehole in. And trying to get rid of Klopp's legacy. Look, there was no need for fixing. We won the league. And that's what I mean about getting rid of Klopp's legacy, because people were saying we wouldn't have done it without Jurgen and his team, what he left us. And that's why they fucking broke us up. We would have won the league this year with the same team that won it last year. But he fucking broke us up. He got rid of young lads as well. We had a great number 2 in Carlyle. Great, that lad. Fucking unbelievable. Boys have been given more money and say, listen, you will get games, you know. And one day you will become number 1. Why did they fucking say that? I've got nothing against Marmadishvili. I've got nothing against that lad. And I watched the Ajax game, when was it, last week, I think. And who plays for them in goal? And he was fucking unbelievable. Was Yaros. You know, our goalkeeper that we put out on loan. He was unbelievable. Should have seen the fucking saves he was making. Unbelievable. Bella, well, Franco, who's that good-looking gentleman on the left? What changed that much? Thanks, Bella. Oh, on the right. Oh, well then. I can't be in 2 places at once. And I think it's worse with the Yanks. We had an offside goal in Europa League, got disallowed. And the Glazers were caught by lip reading, asking, what's up? Yeah. They don't even know the rule. Yeah. They're not interested. Johan, Americans, they're not interested at all. Lauren says, I wish I was alive to watch the final in 2005. One of the greatest of all, Lauren. One of the greatest of all. It will never be equaled, put it that way. That final will never be equaled. And I was lucky enough to be there, and many, thousands of others as well. thousands of others were very lucky to be there. And you've got another European night, which was the Barcelona game. Absolutely incredible. So, you know, I consider myself personally as being there. Personally. And there's loads of others like me who were at both games as well. And it'll always resonate in their memories about those two games. But, you know, loads of games as well. I was in Rome. Excuse me. I was in Rome. And for the first European final, and I said to my mates, I said, I'm just made up to be in a final. This has been my dream, getting into a European final, European Cup final, that is. And I said, you know what? I said, I've got two ambitions. I said, to see the Colosseum and Liverpool win the European Cup. I said, there's my ambitions. And the lad said, can we get a drink in there? Where is it, as you say? I said, the Colosseum. He said, can you get a bit, is there any strippers on? And we were young kids, you know, young lads. I was at college. And I said, no, it's an ancient monument. And I was studying the Romans, about the Romans. I said, no, I said, it's an. And they told me to F off. They wanted to go to a club, not an ancient ruin. You know, so, and they said to me afterwards on the way home, your ambitions came true, didn't they, to see that thing, what you called, you know. I said, the Colosseum. He said, yeah, and us winning the European Cup. Ambitions. And Ali, our Romanian friend, Suarez, man, best I saw in attack of Liverpool since I follow Liverpool back in 2000. Absolutely. He was an incredible player. Look, he's woke up. He must have been hoovering up. Have you finished hoovering the house and washing the dishes and doing the washing as well? No notification of the show tonight. I can't believe I missed it. Oh, you missed? Yeah, that's the who was on with me. Genuine. No, you might think I'm messing. Yeah, Molby. Where is he? Oh, he's gone. He was here. Yeah, say that, you know. Great display. I love your backgrounds as well, he was saying. The Anfield Road. Do you know what? I thought it was Anfield, honestly. I thought it was Friday. And I got ready and everything, you know, to come on for me Friday show. And I phoned Jason. I said, I can't get on. And he said, you said you were having a nice off. And I went, why? I said that I was having the... He said, no. He said, it's fucking Thursday. I thought it was Friday. I'm losing it. So anyway, he said, what do you want to do? I said, I'll throw a football show. And that's, you know, so that's it. That's it. No, mate, I'm sorry about that. Even Yang got a shock when I phoned him up, you know, for him to come on. He said, I thought you weren't having one. And Paulie, Frank's so right about Luis Suarez. Every time I watched him, I'd be amazed. The goals he scored, the passion and the skill he displayed on his own level. Yes. Steven Gerrard said it, didn't he? and he played with his foot was injured, and his boot wouldn't go on. And he said to Steven Gerrard had more or less the same like boots, but Stevens were bigger. And he said, "Do us a favour, lend one of your boots." And he did. Then one of his boots, so he could wear it. And he didn't show any, because he would have been left out the side. That's what you call passion. That's what you call it. And he went out and played and scored. And when I was at the Barca game, you know, people, I said, "What are you fucking booing him for?" I said, "Every team he's played for, he's given 90%. Not 90%, or 100%. Just like he gave us." I said, "Don't be booing him." He carries on booing like no fucking notice him, mate. You're right there, Paulie. And Johan to the Anfield. "All right, mate." Frankie thought it was Friday. Great chat tonight, Frank. Thanks, Owen. Thank you. And one thing our club never does is have some balls to come out and say we made a few mistakes this summer. And here's why we aren't buying in January. Edwin Hughes take plaudits, but never blame. Exactly. I told them that, you know, I said before, they should go. And they're all to Johan. "All right, lads. See and carry on." And then I seen Frankie live and missed the show. Golly, fucking hell. The Paulie's been bad, hasn't he, with the man flu. Gone ice all and rubber ducked, hot drink and a good sleep. Yeah, just have a good sleep, mate. Now, always remember a cold, whatever you've got, lasts 3 days. But the symptoms are always there. It takes time. So, you know, it might be a week before it vanishes on you, unfortunately. But get a lemon sip down you. My Paulie, lads. And the Snape, my window cleaner got me a last-minute ticket for the Barca. Go away. When Origi scored the fourth goal, I felt the new stand physically shake. Being part of a human volcano is something to be. Honestly, Snapey, I'm being honest with you. If you had been at the San Etienne game, fucking hell, if you think that, which it was, by the way, you know, the Barca, don't get me wrong, on any level. But that San Etienne game, I thought the fucking roof was going to come out. I really did. It like squeaked. You know the way you hear wood squeak? Fucking girders squeaked up with, you know, the rafters. Honestly, it's mad. Greatest roar. And I had titanitis, as I said, for a few, 2 or 3 days. And when I went down, my mum was talking to me, and I was sounding like going, I was going, "I can't hear you." Frank. Screw that. The IBR to the Raw. Exactly, Raw, they knew. They know they screwed up and might cost us big time if we don't make tougher. That's why they wanted to buy. Remember, they said, we're going to buy. But they didn't fucking realise how bad Slot was. until he went, fuck this, we're going to buy now. He might fuck them up. And that's why he's definitely going. Definitely going. But I think he'll be gone before the end of the season. I think he'll be brought in sooner rather than later. Because we're in, we haven't got to worry about the Champions League now. And we're only going to concentrate on the Prem. And if Newcastle beats us, I think he'll go then. I think they just say, go on, fuck off. I really do. Because we have to, he's not going to get Champions League in place. There's no way he's going to get a Champions League place. And say like Stevie came in as interim, say you have Xabi Alonso, whoever, it'll give them time to look at the squad, play, whatever, and look at the Champions League and who's best for the Champions League with the players we've got. Because as I said, he's the chef. He's a chef. A sleuth. And he can't mix the ingredients when they brought these lads in. The new lads, that is. Couldn't fucking make them play properly. And the notes of the IBR. Slot takes the bad. They take all the praise. I do feel a little for Arnie. I don't, in that opinion. But he is well compensated. I don't feel sorry for him at all. Not after what he fucking said about the noise and about we lost to Atalanta in the Europa League. Think about that, what he fucking said 2 years ago. Look at us now. You fucking prick. He's a prick. That's what he is, bro. Fucking having a go at Jurgen Klopp and his legacy. Lost to Atalanta in the Europa League. Why did he fucking say that? He's a fucking prick. That's why he said it. So I've got no fucking... I don't feel for him at all. I don't fucking feel for him at all. He keeps coming out with these fucking statements. He can fuck off for me. The Vader. All right, mate. Right now, mate, you'll need these bevies if you have to watch Corrie. Need more than bevies. And the IBR said it. That's why they like having a yes man to shield them from blame. That's all he is. He's a yes man. Right, Vader, she watches Corrie and I look into the cat's eyes to see if I can slide into the underworld. And Barry says, I know we have to sweep Snooty out, but I like that. Sweep and, yeah, Sooty, sweep. Bet you no one got that, eh? But I don't want us to lose. I want us to be as high as we possibly can, or possibly get. And MCC, fake love the magic ginger. What a goal that was. Remember watching us on YouTube, and it sounded so loud, even though that, hopefully your ears are all right. After the way, I had tinnitus. I don't know who sat there. It was that kid. It was my uncle. And, and he said, "You've got titanitis." I'm hot stuff. What's titanitis? I didn't know what it was. Well, you're on titanitis. I said, "What's that?" That's how young I was at the time. 11 a.m. tomorrow, the draw, says Johan. Tell Johan. And Barry says to the me and Frank were on the cop that night. Best ever for me, says Barry. Incredible. Incredible. Oh. But we get Atletico in the draw again, says Owen Lee. Simeone running up and down. And I be Henry is 78 years old and might decide to sell up if he feels the club needs a massive spend to get back into the top four. Werner's always saying to him, sell up, you know. I don't know whether you're aware of that. Did you know that Werner, when he went there to visit a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, Werner was looking for the chairman's office and he couldn't find it. But he had to ask a steward who was wondering. He said, "Where's the chairman's office?" And he brought him. He said, "Yeah, there it is there." Never had a fucking clue. And he's the chairman of the club. Didn't know where it was. He's like Seymour. Belly. Franco. My son worked in a restaurant that Alonso went in with one of his friends. My son asked if he was the Liverpool supporter by Alonso. "Who's your favourite player?" And he said, "Gerrard." No tip. She said nothing. I just said to him, "Oh, you shabby." And the MCC says, "Whoa, Barry, I just can't imagine how good that would have been to be there. Would have loved to have been around the Shankly and Paisley days." It was like being around Sophia Loren and Mallory Monroe for us males, being around in the Shankly days. Put it that way. Do you know what? I haven't had the itch, you know. You know, when you see me doing that, I haven't had the itch tonight, strangely enough. Under my nose, there is. You know, lad said to me at work, his name is Tony. He said, "You can't spell my name backwards." I said, "Why not?" I bet you that joke went around the site, eh? I went right around the site. That's a good one, I've never heard that, though. CW. All right, now. All right, lads. Even Johan's laughing at that bad joke. He'll be telling the students tomorrow that joke. You like that, Johan? It was good. I even think it was good. Even IDR thinks it was good. And Barry says to the MCC, "Great days, mate. I've been very lucky to see what I consider to be arguably the best teams ever, 70s and 80s. Yeah. Incredible. Incredible. Do you know what? Yeah, fucking case, yeah, really. Frankie loves Slot. We know Slot is a legacy basher. That's all he's got. Little poem. A little poem. Frankie loves Slot. We know Slot is a legacy basher. That's all he's got. Very good. 100%, Barry. We were the bosses of the 70s and 80s, says the MCC. Very true, Barry, lads. I got the middle to late 80s, but still boss, yeah. I might as well have a fucking pizza, you know. But don't sell Snapey. Sells me off. Oh, cabs. Do you know what I've got a passion for? It's mad. At my age. Crisp butties. Crisp butty. Okay. Go back into my childhood. If Slot stays, says the Vader, we will not get Champions League next season. He's won 5 league games out of 18. Not happening unless he goes ASAP. Well, I've said it myself, to be honest, Vader. I really have, and we won't. And this is why it's right up to John Henry, because these fucking pricks won't fucking sack him because they're mates. That's Edwards and the invisible man, Richard Hughes. The Anfield. Frankie question, what boss and what team was the best you've seen? Where do you rank there in terms of you? And Shankly, Paisley, Fagan, Dalglish, Klopp, Rafa. You have to put that. I'm being honest here. I'm being honest. You know, this man here, the Shanks, he picked Liverpool up. He embraced every one of us. Embraced us. He embraced the city. Because he's like us, he's a socialist, or was a socialist. And he knew Liverpool was the people. And he embraced us, everyone. The city, the whole of the city. And then his legacy was passed over to Bob Paisley. And to me, Bob Paisley is the greatest manager ever. What he acquired in 9 seasons was the best any manager in Britain could ever achieve. And in that thing, he succeeded in winning 3 European Cups when you had to be champions of the country. Not this Champions League team where fucking 4 or 5 can go in now. And then it passed on to, the pain come back then. Passed on to Joe Fagan, who won the first treble. And people say, no, it wasn't the first treble, you know, because you'd have to win the FA Cup. Nevertheless, it was the fucking first treble ever won. And that was the League Cup, the European Cup, and the First Division Championship. First ever treble. No matter how you look at it. So you say, it's those lads, but Paisley is the most iconic out of them. Dalglish as well. He would have been more iconic if he would have beaten Arsenal. And I was there at the time at Anfield. And we only had to get beat fucking 1-0. And we would have won the league. But we didn't. We got fucking beat 2-0. Michael Thomas doing somersaults after scoring the second. And we fucking bought him afterwards. I didn't fucking want him. Then after that, we went downhill. Going into the 90s. And really, it wasn't, I know that what Rafa did was mind-blowing, but he was sacked. This is by the club, or fucking people say we don't sack anyone. They sack Kenny. They sacked him, Rafa. Then Hodgson. Think about that. After sacking Rafa. Think about Hodgson. Then the Northern Irish fella. And we're not a sacking club according to fucking arseholes. We fucking are. Freedom Journey's laughing because he asked that question to Franco. The lovely Bella's leaving us. Franco, buonanotte, grazie ancora per la splendida serata. Buonanotte tutti, Rossi. Thank you, Bella. Mille grazie. Mille grazie. I'm going to finish in the next 3 comments. Got to finish. One of my best nights when I was based in London and snuck a special ticket on the Wolves train up for the last game, 70. I was there, losing 15 minutes before they won. That's the only time, boss, that I ever ran on a pitch. I fucking ran on it. The only time I ever ran on any pitch. Never even ran on Anfields. Tell you something funny. We won the league, right? Not that time. I forget who it was against. Anyway, we fucking won. It was a midweek game. And the kid ran on the pitch and he was doing all that. You know, like that. And he was supposed to be in bed for school the next day, and he got home and he got battered. Shane, you're on the fucking telly. I wasn't there. So that's he always says that story, and that's genuine. That. Only from out there, round our way, he was. Come in from work, wife says, I've got good news and bad news. She faced the good news, they managed to salvage the edge. Do you know what? That reminds me of, what's his face? Tommy Cooper. And he said, my wife phoned me, he said. She said, I parked the car. She said, oh, was that all right? I'll go and pick it up. She said, it's in the bottom of the Thames. Just stupid like that. And yo, I'll piss off you. Lay off the cabs tonight. I want to go out with a bang. Fucking crisp butty and a pizza. Well, he enjoys himself. And she said, going to sleep now, Frank, but have a great night. I have subbed and liked, and I had a good time. and I will be here more often. See you tomorrow, says the MCC. Thank you, MCC. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And Frankie turning into a student again, pizza and a smoke. I wish I was young as a student. And Johan, thank you for joining us. See you soon to the MCC. And nice MCC. Oh, that's great, that. That's fucking great, that. Really? And says, Snapey, it's all right, Chris Butties, but Frankie dips in the screen. Look, I'm going to go after the boss, honestly. I'll have to. I'm really done in. I haven't had anything to eat because I don't have anything to eat when I do these off. Frankie will be asleep. Led 76, 79 for me was the best winning European trophies and leagues. We were top, but Shanks made it all possible. No one would have known Bob. Has it not been for Shanks? Bill is the best. There you go. There you go. I think that's, fair enough. And Archie says, we are talking Ian Paisley historically. Love you, Frank. Not Ian Paisley. Bob Paisley. Fuck Paisley. Ian. Despite all the struggles of 7 decades, I had the best Liverpool youth from 64 to 90, a quarter of the century of great teams. Even when he didn't win a trophy, Anfield was great on the cup. Yes. Yes. Kane Foz. Hi, Frank, mate. What's the best goal you've seen us score? The best goal I've ever seen, I'll give you 3. I'll give you 3. The first one, and I'm talking about Liverpool here, was Terry McDermott 7th against Spurs when we beat them 7-0 at Anfield. The second, again, Terry McDermott at White Hart Lane, also against Spurs, as I said, when he was out on the right wing, the ball came to him, he chested it, tied it, volleyed it right into the corner. It was the best goal I've seen, but it couldn't beat the second. And the third one, I was always battling with this. But anyway, I've got to give it to Jan Molby. And it was against Man United when he picked the ball up in our half and he went through from our half. He was out, more or less out on the right, and he went through, and then he cut in towards the middle. And then as he was going through, he just let fly into the cup. They're my 3 best ever. But that's just Liverpool. Best ever. So thank you, Kane Faz, for that question. Night sleepy, lad, says the door. Night Frank, says Archie. Good night, Archie, mate. The IBR. Another banger. Oh, thanks, IBR. Christopher. Night Frank, and let everyone up the title winning Reds. Thank you for that. And I don't know where they've gone. There they are. Owen Lee, good night, Frank and chat. Thank you all for your brilliant company. God bless. Oh, thank you, Owen Lee. Thank you. Cheers, Frank. Says to T. Great show. Cheers, mate. Night all, says to T. Night TW. Barry Allen couldn't get to Wolves in 76. I was 17 and couldn't get away from where soon enough, but I know about the M6 being clogged up. Was as well. It was. Funny time in Eindhoven, we beat PSV 3-0 and at theirs. And I was sitting in front. And I was sitting in front of a Dutch celebrity. Every time we scored, the camera went to look at the celeb and saw me waving my scarf in front of him. Oh, look, I've got to go. I've got to go. My little pinkies are freezing. I'm starving. And I'll see you tomorrow. I know that lots of you don't like come in tomorrow because it's a current affairs. But Saturday morning, I'm having a split thing. I'm having a TV and review, and if you want to bring the football into it, that's fine. As a precursor to the night game, which I'll be doing a watch along, but I won't be fucking watching it. I'll be doing a pre. The watch along will be on. Then I'm going to go in and watch it in the warm. I'm coming in at half time. And then going out again, come in at full time, and we can have a post match. That's what I'll be doing because of the spoilers. I'll leave you with this. Tommy Cooper's mum used to run an antique shop in Shirley, Southampton, and he used to help her behind the counter. Go away. Well, anyway, listen, before you go, honestly, if you go on the game on Saturday, just go into this place at Scarf or a Badge. They open 2 hours before the game. Just go in, please. And it's a smashing little shop. It's a small business. And Michael Dean and his wife, Miss Yo, will look after you. Very good merchandise. Honestly, very good. And very reasonable prices. Please go in and see them. That's at Scarf or a Badge. And if you can't get a maker, at scarforabadge.com. Just do that for those lovely people. And my sponsors of the show are these wonderful people as well. Got painting services. If you need anything done, get these in. Please get them in. Fully time served lads, fully insured. And if you're an NHS worker and or elderly, just get them in. You get special discounts. I think I'll get them in. The way people are talking about Shankly goats and Shankly tea. Me and Barry. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Really, thank you. And I hope to see some of you tomorrow. Buonanotte. Ciao.